Are all these E4 test streams for? I'm just testing the full games. I'm trying to make a tier list for Vanilla, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and for that I just need experience playing the games. Speaking from experience, I would go Citrus Berry there personally, but you know, you don't gotta listen to me. I've just fought this fight 10,000 times. F me. Oh my god, Delibird. He's insane! What? Is Balatro that good? Balatro is an amazing fucking game, yeah. It's really addictive though. But it's like... I mean, it's definitely the best game that released last year. Well, UFO 50 came out last year. Nah, it's better than that. The game is incredible. Anyway, we're just doing more Heart Gold Soul Silver testing. Literally, like, between the Elite Four and Blue, there's nothing worth testing. The game's just completely free, so it's going to be completely brain off, and we can just hang out and talk a little bit. And I just want to, even though I just want to keep streaming, so I'm not, like, streamless for, like, 3 weeks straight and stuff. So I'm trying to do Monday, Friday, but, like, literally, I already have problems with managing myself, so I shall not download Balatro. You know, one thing that I've learned recently... I think if you said this in my chat a year ago, I would have been like, dude, just download it. If it's not Balatro, it's just going to be a different game. But I think I'm kind of over that. I think you do actually have a lot of control over your environment and how that affects your behavior. Like deleting like all the like social media stuff from my phone. I hate that I'm now the guy who always talks about this, but holy dude, the effect that has had on my life is crazy. If I can use my reach to give one piece of advice to anyone, is to immediately delete all the doom scrolling apps off your phone, because oh my god, my life is so much better. And it was better within like a day. All right, let me order my thoughts really quick. So the first thing that I noticed about this Pokemon Presents is, man, because I thought I was just like very jaded and stuff like that, right? But watching the Presents, I do have to say, I didn't give a f about anything they announced. Just could not care less about any of the, like, Legends Day looked like one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. Couldn't give a shit about Champions, none of that shit. And when, dude, when they bring out like the, oh, here's the new Terra raids, I'm like, please make it stop. But I will say, despite all of that cynicism and all of my jadedness and how much I don't even feel like I'm a real fan of the games anymore, and I've rather just gotten attached to like the mods and the community and the nuzlocking and stuff, I will say, when I was very surprised when the starters came on screen, when there was a fucking Chikorita and a Tepig and a fucking Totodile, I was like, oh, it's my boys. Look at them. It was so cute. I don't know. They just fucking get you, man. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so here's what I'm picking up on right now. This is a really interesting and new experience for me as someone who's been streaming Pokemon for 9 years on the internet. So I'll bring it up again. I've recently stopped using social media, including Twitter. I just haven't been on Twitter at all. So for the first time during a release cycle, especially because I also haven't been streaming, I have no idea what the discourse is right now. I have no idea what the leading... Big W for the community. F off. I have no idea what the leading opinions are. Like, what are the hit piece videos that people are... The talking points from those that people are pitting? What are like the big hit tweets that people are referencing when they talk about what is the general vibe for this release, and what was the big like social like what's like the state of Pokemon fandom right now with this release? I'm completely out of touch and I have no idea. For the first time since I've been on the internet, basically. Well, like, I've talked to like some of my friends about it, but that's it, right? Definitely since I've been a streamer in like 9 years. It's a really interesting experience. And what I'm kind of getting through the chat right now is something that I kind of thought would happen, but I wasn't sure. I think people hate that it's 2 Gen 2 starters and 1 Gen 5 starter. I think it just f***s with people's like OCD. Is that about right? Are people like complaining about that? That's my guess. Yeah. Okay. Oh, dude, the Tepic haters are probably out in full force now. Because I'm a staunch Tepic defender. I have been since I started 9 years ago. I've been a Tepic defender. That's always been an opinion of pChal. That's never changed. I kind of forgot how much people hate that Pokemon. And this has always been my take, and my take on this has never changed, by the way. This has been my take since 2016 during any sort of Emboar discourse. The only reason people don't like Emboar is not for any legitimate design reasons or anything like that. It's only because it was the third firefighting type in a row. It's not Tepic's fault whatsoever. You know what? You know who shouldn't be there in that trio? You know who actually is the clown in the like soldiers and the clown meme? Who are leaned against the wall? You guys know what I'm talking about? It's fucking Totodile, man. If I was to cut anyone, it'd be Toto. I'll keep it real with you. I just don't think it's a very good line. I think Feraligatr kind of fucking sucks ass, no? It's fine. Like, Toto's still cool. I don't know. I just don't think it's a big deal, right? I don't think I have a strong stance on it. Holy shit, I really am off Twitter, huh? That's fucking crazy. I just want you to think about if you saw a trailer for a game that looked like, let's just say for an example, Legends ZA or maybe Scarlet Violet. The gameplay, everything was exactly the same, but it didn't have Pokemon in it. It had some other random creatures that you didn't give a fuck about. Wouldn't it look like the worst? I now that I'm saying it out loud, it feels really obvious. But I think I've never really thought about it that way. You know? I don't know. I've now that I've said that like out loud and like really thought about it, it kind of puts things in perspective, you know? I don't think I will be buying Legends ZA, but we'll see. Now, would I play... I feel like I would play a game like Heart Gold Soul Silver if it came out without Pokemon in it, but that's probably because I'm nostalgic for Heart Gold Soul Silver, right? So... I don't know. I just think it looks... I just think the game looks like atrocious, right? I don't know, when I see discussions online, when I saw them for Scarlet Violet and people were like, no, this doesn't look this bad. It was like an Emperor's new clothes type of situation. I thought I was getting gaslit or something. Like, I couldn't believe what was going on. Is it the same? Is it like that again on the apps right now? Or people like, no, this actually looks really pog and good? I don't even care that it's like the low poly trees, the low quality, or not even the performance. I think what bothers me about specifically Scarlet Violet ZA, I think even some Switch games like Let's Go did this better. I just think it's completely lacking any sort of stylistic direction. BDSP had stylistic direction. I didn't even hate BDSP that much. I thought it was the best Switch game, mostly because of the bugs and everything, but you know. And it had like a unique stylistic direction, I felt like. It had some stuff going for it. I love Pokemon BDSM. You and me both, brother. You and me both. You probably just like BDSP because the Elite Four provides an actual Nuzlocke challenge. Yeah, you're right. That's correct, yeah. What could they have, realistically, something that will actually be in a Pokemon game, realistically, what could they have announced yesterday during that Presents that would have had you like, yo, this is exciting, except for new forms, new megas, new Pokemon designs. I'm not talking about different games. I'm talking about features of Legends ZA that would have been exciting. A game that doesn't look like it's from 2005. Yeah, okay. That's fair. No, you know what? Okay, how the f am I getting out? Oh, because I got like scary faced, right? Wait, did I really not save? Oh my god. My bad. Difficulty. Really though? You trust them with that? Also, I said realistic. I don't know. Yeah, like a stylistically interesting looking game probably would have been top of my list too. But it is what it is. The battle system seems interesting. I just couldn't tell what the fuck. It might be. It could be cool. I agree. I've been saying for a while they gotta shake things up. And I like that they're trying to. Dude, I went to the weirdest party the other day. And I went there with like a couple old school buddies just to kind of check it out. We thought it'd be funny. It wasn't like a fair at all. It was a party. Okay, I'll describe the party to you, okay? It was a party in a grade school gymnasium at like 7 p.m. on a Saturday night. And the crowd was 50% 60 plus year olds and 50% Zoomers, or not even Zoomers, but like barely high school graduates. That was the crowd. It was the weirdest crowd I'd ever seen at a party in my life. And then what they would do at the party is like play like really shitty music and like do like weird dances that I'd never seen before. Most people would be wearing like very shitty low effort costumes. I too was wearing a very shitty low effort costume. I just had like a doctor's robe lying around my apartment for some reason, so I just put that on and put a tie over my t-shirt and called it a day. I don't know, Professor Oak or something. And everyone was getting just insanely fucking off the charts drunk. That was the whole party. And now that I'm describing it, it actually sounds kind of beast. But it was so boring, man. It was kind of interesting because it was in my old hometown. So now and again, there'd be like a super insanely drunk, like 60-year-old woman in like a clown costume walking by. And I'd be like, was that Paul's mother from high school? I'd go over to my friend and be like, is that Paul's mom? Didn't you pick us up once after you like vomited in the park? And he was like, yeah, that's her. It was like crazy, man. It's crazy how good like human facial recognition is, because I've seen this woman once 15 years ago, 14 years ago, 13 years ago, and my brain was like, hey, that's her. I don't even know the guy anymore. She was having a good time though. At one point I was pretty drunk and also really bored, and there's this group of like drunk like 19-year-old dudes outside, and they asked me what I did. Or they asked me and my friend what we did. And I told them that I worked for the company who... You guys in EU, do you know the bottle caps that don't go off the bottle anymore? Everyone's really pissed about it or whatever. It's so... I don't know why. It's so people don't discard them separately. I told them I worked for the company that invented those. And the guys were all like, whoa, f*** that. I fucking hate that shit or whatever. So I did the... I was like, what? You guys hate it? You guys are the first to tell me about this. Everyone I talk to loves them. What do you guys mean? Did you react to the Flygon Run and Bun Run or the weird bug he found? Did that bug screw you too? I'm pretty sure it did in my Elite Four, yeah. There's a moment where I switch from... I think it's when I Volt Switch Thunderous into Pult. And I thought that Suicune was like 90% to Calm Mind. And if it did, I could have just killed it with Pulse and then just dodged a crit from Salamence because I would have been full HP. Because Salamence would have Earthquake Dragapult. But he didn't Calm Mind. He Scalded, which I thought at the time was a 10% chance, but according to what Flygon found out was a higher chance to happen, which made me sack Ursaluna, which made me have to do the 4-Mon Wallace. Lemon and water is fire. I've been doing it so much, especially in the summer. I started to find like new like lemon like breeds, or I don't know if are they called breeds, types that I really enjoyed. There's like the Amalfi lemon. Those are expensive as f though, but oh my god. That shit goes crazy. They got like a hint of orange in them. Thought about doing New Game Plus for Run and Bun. No, I think that chapter of my life is over. I think it's time to move on to other things. There is quite the ROM hack drought right now, but at least till Plat Kaizo comes out. But I've been told that that's going to take a little longer. But I do have a pretty cool idea for what I'm going to do next. It's gonna shake up the game. I'm telling you, it's gonna shake up the Nuzlocke game. I'm not gonna reveal what it is yet, but when the Run and Bun video releases and I come back from my vacation, oh boy, dude! When Ludwig himself says that this shit takes no skill, you know you got something special on your hands. Who the f has cut? Wait, you don't need cut, right? You can just surf around. There's like 10% skill. Yeah, but that means they're 20% luck, 15% concentrated power of will. And then just like what's left after that? Like 5% pleasure? And like 50% pain? I don't know if there's like any percent left to play the f***ing game. You know what I mean? Watched some VOD yesterday planning a fight in Run and Bun, and you said the exact opposite. That certainly Ironmon tests quite the skill set. Yeah, I think I was wrong. I've since then consumed a little bit more Ironmon content, and I changed my mind. We tried Emerald Sea Glass. I mean, I watched it. Looks pretty cool, but not really my type of game. It's hard to find a competent Ironmon streamer. Depends on what you mean by competent, but in terms of like just being a competent streamer, like entertaining to watch, there's plenty to pick from. One like Small Ant streams of Ironmon are pretty fun. I really like Point Crow's Ironmon streams. Like, there's a bunch of other like really talented like streamers streaming the game. It's a good stream game. Like, it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to do commentary over. It's just like not really. It's no Run and Bun, you know? Like, how did Ludwig beat Ironmon so much faster than Point Crow? I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of it. I just popped in now and then into Ludwig's chat and was like, when does this game get hard or something like that. What I assumed, because he planned it for to run for like a week or something, what I assumed is that it was like the Ludlock where he got like an easier version. Because for the Ludlock, he got like a specifically easier version of Renplat, right? I assume it was similar there, but I don't know. Because I think he also called the ROM something different. Did you play Emerald Rogue 2 or you're not interested? I'm interested in Emerald Rogue 2. I really liked Emerald Rogue. A lot more than... Wait, hold on. Which one is Emerald Rogue? Because there's two. There's Emerald Rogue and there's the fan game one. Rogue. Rogue looked awful and I never want to touch it. Emerald Rogue I thought was kind of sick. I should probably check that out. The good one. Yeah, thank you. Okay. I'm glad we agree on this, by the way. Emerald Rogue was really cool. I had some like pretty major complaints with it. I'm curious to see if they're fixed in the new version. I also have the pit now. Yeah, but I don't know. It looked whatever, I guess. They're both fan made. Okay, man. And every pizza made in Chicago is a Chicago style pizza. Sure. I like that Run and Bun didn't give you every single Pokemon. Yeah, I agree. It was the best thing about Run and Bun is how incredibly well it's balanced. It's actually unbelievable. I still can't believe it, but yeah, Run and Bun it's a masterpiece, man. Dexa was cooking as much as we like to hate on him. Run and Bun is good. It's cool, but it's too big and exhausting for its own good. Oh yeah, for sure. Run and Bun has the potential to be a lot better. Specifically if it cut half of its trainers. Literally, the game would only be better if you cut half of the trainers in the game. You could probably remove more and it would still be better. I think you would have to remove a lot of trainers in Run and Bun until the game starts getting worse. Wonder if Small will win in 10-1. I talked about this last week. on stream. I think it's almost guaranteed. Because the secret of Run and Bun, the secret about that game is that the only thing you need... Am I in the right... Yeah, okay. The only thing you need to beat Run and Bun is patience. You just need to be willing to sit in the calculator and find your line. If that takes 6 hours for a fight, that takes 6 hours for a fight. If you lose, it's because you made a mistake in building your line because you were too impatient, or it's because you got bad early game encounters. But once you're past like Norman with only a few deaths, as long as you're willing to put in the time, you're gonna win, I think. And Smollett definitely has patience and willing to put in the time, so I would be surprised if he lost. Has Flagon got an add to the sheet yet? I don't think so. Has he? I still think he should be, but I mean, it's only one guy running the sheet, right? It's not like a... But the thing is, once you start like, I don't know. Once you start having like different versions of the sheet run by different people, it's all so cringe, man. It doesn't really matter. Like, he did that shit. We all watched him do that shit. I think people have like different ideas of what like a winning attempt sheet is supposed to be. In my mind, it's just it's two things. One, it's like a celebration of the community of people who play this game for hours and hours and hours, and two, it's like a resource for people who play the game to look up like what kind of strategies other people have used and like look up like data about it and shit like that. I haven't done Flagon's run. I don't really know, except for what happened to E4. In the E4, there was just like the game didn't work in a way that we expected it to work, and it turns out that there's like a coding error in how some of the AI rules are executed, and it cost Flagon his E4 run, and he was like, F this, I'll run it back, knowing about this rule now, which is exactly what I did on my Winona in my winning run, by the way, when I ran into an undocumented bug. And I don't know, people felt like that made it invalid or something like that. I don't know. I don't know why he's not on the sheet. I have no idea. But then again, it's just one guy who runs the sheet, so it's just his opinion, so it doesn't really even matter, right? I just don't want it to... What I don't want there to be is like a community of people who play that game, because it's a very unique game in terms of community building. You know what the cool thing is about Run and Bun? You know what makes Run and Bun unique, or like these like super hardcore Nuzlocke unique over every other online gaming community? This is basically, you can stretch this a little bit, you can probably find other examples, but this is basically the only really hard puzzle game where you can't just look up the solution to the puzzle online, because every player has different pieces. Because every player has different mons with different stats and has to find their own solution to the puzzle. That's really cool for an online community, because you can watch each other solve puzzles. Like, no other like puzzle game community could do that. You can get inspiration, you can kind of see patterns, but in the end, you're the only one who has your box, right? You can argue that for any Pokemon game? No? What do you mean? I mean, kinda. But the puzzles are just really easy in the normal Pokemon games and have like a billion solutions. It's really hard to not beat them. Plus, they don't have like lose conditions and shit like that, right? Like, the stakes are just not there. It's a very unique experience to watch like a Run and Bun stream. Because not only is it like difficult puzzle solving that the person literally can't look up, there's also stakes, because if you f up the puzzle, you potentially have to start from the very beginning. Watching Small's chat, when he finishes a fight in frame 1, you have 4 people post different entire fight plans for the next one, is the wildest shit I've ever seen. I mean, this happens in my stream too. I don't know if they're in chat right now, but there's definitely a couple people in this chat who were very happy to post like entire like hand. I like intentionally didn't post my like team export, but they would like by hand put in every single one of my mons in the calculator and then try to calc lines for me. And like, the problem is, as a streamer, it's kind of hard to be like, don't do that if you've been calculating a fight for 7 hours and someone just posts the solution for you in chat. You can ban them or tell them not to do it again, but you're kind of not super mad about it, you know? It's a tough call. That's one of the reasons why in late game and run-and-bun, I started calcing off stream. If you go back, somewhere around Juan's gym, I start calcing basically every fight off stream, or like more than half of them, because like it wasn't, yeah, with all the like people calcing shit for me, it wasn't very, yeah. You could do it if you have like good discipline in your moderation, be like, don't post fight plans, but it's really hard to do that as a streamer if you're stuck in the game and you're calcing for a really long time and you just can't find the solution. I'd rather just not go live at that point. Me and my girlfriend were watching a little bit of OG Pokemon Season 1 because, I don't know, we had nothing else going on, I guess. That shit sucked ass, dude. Oh my god. What a terrible show. We watched that one episode where they meet like a group of Pikachus in the forest. And Ash is like, oh man, Pikachu's so happy here. I bet he's going to want to go without me. And then the entire time Pikachu's just kind of having a good time, but he's like, I don't know what this guy is on about. And then Ash is like, well, I guess you have to go now. Well, after the Team Rocket shit happens, because that shit obviously always has to happen to pad out time. And then he's like, oh man, I guess I gotta go now. Goodbye, Pikachu. Like a fucking like fourth grader manipulating their like boyfriend. Be like, oh, I guess you don't love me. Goodbye. And he just goes and he's really sad. And then this, I kid you not, 5-minute long, it's a 20-minute episode, 5-minute long flashback sequence of all their greatest moments together plays. Completely unearned. Completely fucking unearned. Right? And then Pikachu just comes up after the flashback and he's like, hey dude, he doesn't say this because he's like, Pika, 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 right? He's like, no, I'm coming with you. And Ash is like, oh, okay, cool. And that's the emotional arc of the episode. What was the theme? What were you trying to say? Like, nothing changed in the characters to necessitate any sort of plot development. It was just like a sitcom misunderstanding. And it was sold as this like goodbye Butterfree emotional type episode. I've really been doing everything except streaming. Genshin Impact Nuzlocke when? I made a Genshin Impact video. You guys didn't really like it. Or you remember when we played Zenless Zone Zero? For some reason, you guys didn't really vibe with that, so I don't know if I should do it again. We're a Pokemon champion in a game. All right, here we go. This is how some good-ass questions start. What team would you use to balance between challenging yet still doable for the kiddies and casuals? I don't know, man. That's another job that I really don't want to have. It depends on like the rest of the game, right? I feel like I would go almost less for balance and more for like theme. Like I think one of the reasons that Cynthia's team is so memorable. Yes, it's challenging, so it stays in your memory more because the champions that you just roll over are less memorable, obviously. Everyone's like, oh my god, Cynthia's Garchomp. Or, like, think of all the like memorable gym leaders. It's like Whitney's Miltank, right? So you want something that's difficult, I agree. But I think you also kind of want it to be like thematic. And I really think that Cynthia's team is this really good like representation of different areas of Sinnoh, right? With like Garchomp as the capstone, but it's also got like melodic and melodic for like the seas and Gastrodon for like that like coastline. This is a cool drop, by the way. And then like Roserade, harkening back to like Gardenia and like the more like grassy areas in the forest and shit like that. What else was on her team? Togekiss. Obviously, you get a Togepi yourself, right? It's a newly introduced evolution, kind of like Roserade. And they're also all like very feminine Pokemon as well, which kind of tie in with her being like the first female champion. I don't know. There's like a lot thematically going on, I think, on Cynthia's team that makes it memorable and makes it work. Lucario, exactly, yeah. Like it's just very quintessentially Gen 4. Spiritomb too, yeah. I would argue. Oh yeah, she discarded the Gastrodon Platinum. True. Which was probably for the better. But I think Gastrodon also is like a very, like, I think it's a Gen 4 iconic Pokemon in a way, I think. Do you know the Let's Go games had a unique champion character? True, they did. One of the Sun and Moon games, you fight the professor, right? That's kind of cool. Is it Ultra Sun and Moon, I think? Although that never really made sense to me. How's this guy moonlighting as both a professor and the fucking champion of the region, and then he's also like a wrestler? How much time does this guy have? And he's got like a hot wife? Not like a hot wife, like a wife that's hot. I mean, he isn't the champion. He just challenges you to become oh, I'm misremembering that then. Never mind. Wait, is the champion in both Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon your rival? I thought it was a different... Who the fuck are the champions in Alola? Because I know in one of the games it's the rival. Is it the rival in the other ones? There is no champion. It's only a rival in Usum. You become the first champion. Oh, wait, really? So wait, in Sun and Moon, do you fight the Elite Four and then the game is over? Wait, is that how Sun and Moon ends? I'm getting gaslit. Champions Chamber. Initial battle, Sun and Moon, Kukui. Oh, but he's not the... what you guys are not... You guys aren't saying you don't fight him. You guys are saying you fight him, but he's not the champion because you are. He just challenges you, correct? I understand now. Okay. See, every problem between humans is just a problem of communication. And all of those problems are just problems of definition. Wittgenstein was right.